Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Jerry, it's that time again. You know what it is?
Man, this is time for the Coach Mark O'Brien Coosa Christian Football Show, and the anticipation for this show, man, it's just been eating me alive. But this is like a law firm today. It's the O'Brien and O'Brien.
That's right.
Jeff, introduce your guests.
Welcome to the infamous Coach Mark O'Brien, always on the Coosa Christian Show. But his brother, some would say the better looking brother.
Yeah.
Some may say.
Mr. Todd O'Brien is all the way up surprising his brother from Navarre Beach, Florida. Welcome, guys. Thank y'all for being here.
Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Mark, why, Coach? I say Mark, Coach. Why you always lean up? Like, I mean, you're ready to. You're on the edge of the seat every time. Is it?
Do I really?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're in an aggressive stance all the time.
I don't know.
Back to the wall.
Yeah.
He knows his brothers
Well,
right there.
do you go into a restaurant and eat with your back to the door, or do you find a way to position
I've
yourself?
got to see the door.
Yeah. Is that military training?
Probably.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
very uncomfortable with my back to the door.
So my son is going. He's a certified police officer, or a police officer now. Is going to the academy on the 26th, and we went to eat after church Sunday. And we walk in, and I've been like that since I was a kid. My dad was in the military, so I just kind of done that. Never taught my kids that. We walk in to eat, all of our bunch of us. Jerry's out there, everybody's there. And he goes, I got to sit where I can see the door. And so that's something I think is taught.
Yeah.
I also heard a story, and I'm going to say this, and we'll get into the show. Maybe this is the show. Vince Lombardi. You guys know who he is?
I've heard of him.
You know, the rumors are that he hated to lose.
Right.
He hated it. And he was playing a game. The Green Bay was playing a game. Lost the game that they shouldn't have lost. Made several stupid mistakes. Right. And so the next day at practice, they went and reported on Monday morning. The next day he has this green tote bag. You heard this story? And he walks out there in front of every one of the players, unzips this tote bag. Everybody, because he was profound. He would say a lot of profound things. Reaches in, grabs a football. He pulls out the football. He presents it to the players, and he says, "This is a football." And from that point on, for that entire rest of that season, he went back to the basics, the fundamentals of football with professional football players. Do you find that when you go through summer workouts, or when the kids come back from summer workouts or whatever, do you find that you have to go back to the basics a lot of times with these young high school students, or is that something you're conditioned to do, reteaching some things that they maybe are supposed to know but forgot?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of everything. We don't take time off. I think we get off 1 week during the summer. You know what I mean? So it's a continuation from last fall. But you do have ebbs and flows where you can get going too far in one direction where you got to draw yourself back in and go back to simplicity, and then once they get to simplicity, you start full speed ahead. So I think that's kind of where that's the biggest issues we have. Sometimes we have to be very simple. Right now, our punt team, we need to be very simple. We're not very good at it, blocking wise. So we're going back to the basics on it. But as soon as we get the basics down, we're full speed ahead again. So sometimes you'll take 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, or 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. So that does happen for sure.
Is that what they call that, Todd, the Lombardi effect, that you go back to keep it simple, stupid?
Yeah.
You go back to the and some you got to do that. I have to do that with Jerry every single week.
That's fair.
He's a Yankee fan. What do you expect?
I mean,
We're going to keep this classy.
that's a pretty smart fan right now. I mean, if you're jumping on for a team, the Yankees would be the team.
Too
I
bad
think.
the Orioles are going to destroy them.
You think?
Yep.
Really.
Yep.
Let's just focus on Friday night, Coach.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's focus on the game you make and win.
Yes.
Right. Not.
I did get him a Lou Gehrig jersey.
He
though.
did.
Did you get it?
Not yet.
Not yet. It's on its way.
He told me you were getting him one.
Well, hopes and dreams.
Is it going to be tight where he can, tight, just where the buttons will scream and he's going to
I don't wear jerseys like Marco Bryant.
He wanted I ordered him a medium.
a medium? Yeah, I mean, you've seen him. I mean, he's looking like
A medium.
thin man over here.
Please. Let's
Why don't we change the subject?
let's divert the
He
conversation.
will never talk about it.
Yeah.
So.
Todd, you're also a coach, right? A lot of these kids look at you as Coach Todd.
Old one.
So, what's it like being a coach with your brother?
Always. There's
Every step of the way, you've been there. Talk about his progression.
He's came a long way, actually. Being about 9 years older than him, I'd be lying to you if I told you it was easy to work with him. When he first was
Amen.
with his younger head coach, and I was working with him, was coaching, he just sometimes is unapproachable. If things had to be his way, all the time, and don't get me wrong, I think it comes from success. He don't want to take them steps back, like he said. But we progressed. We did well. I think we did well. We had fun. Look, at the end of the day, he and I could get in a heated argument on the sidelines, and after the game, we hug each other.
Sure.
Right? It's water off a duck's back. Yeah. But no, he's a sound coach. That's the reason I had to come in. I had to come in and check and see if he's doing the right things. No, I didn't. I didn't.
It's great to have accountability partners, right? It really is. One of the things I really love about coaching with Mark, right before you go out on the field, he hugs every one of his coaches, tells them he loves them, means it, right? It's not lip service. And that's the last thing they do before they go on the field. He gives his coaches love. That's pretty special.
Well, I think, from an audience standpoint, a lot of people that may be listening may not see that side of
Sure.
him. They see a harder side of him, but, Mark's got a caring side, to his inner circle. His inner circle being his players, and everyone that's working to make that happen, that happen around Coosa or whatever school he's been at. He's been always appreciated that. And a lot of people don't see that. They see him as a harder individual, but he's a lot softer on that side. I think you are anyway. And I ain't trying to take that away from him being demeaning of it. I just think that there's a side of him that people don't understand. Yeah. But he's fun to be around. I mean, I can tell you this, the kids run through a brick wall for him.
No question. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Sorry for the wall.
Sometimes they get a little caught up in the sign they run through, though. We got to work on that a little bit.
Yeah, it's go back to the old tire drills.
Well, we won't talk about the player that fell last year.
That was pretty
that was
fun.
epic. It was beautiful.
So one comment says, Mark is a lover, not a fighter. Comes from your favorite niece.
Holly?
Yeah. You knew who your favorite niece was, wasn't you? Just quick. Man. You knew. So let's talk a little football. Let's talk a little expectations. Last year, I think most would say was a very, very successful season. Went through a lot of obstacles, right? To a lot of different things, but you came out, played for a state championship, didn't win it, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a successful season. Talk about that just a little bit about last season. Kind of just wrap up last season before we move forward.
I mean, I think you summed it up nicely that we had a lot of adversity, and I think that's the part of the season we won in. Because it took a lot for these kids to overcome that. That would have tore 99% of all football programs apart. So we were fortunate to overcome that. And I do not find the season to be successful because we ended with a L.
Okay.
So but I think we won in life, just teaching these kids adversity and how to overcome, things that are thrown their way that's not of their doing. And, because in life, a lot of times you're going to get punished for stuff you didn't do. You're not going to get the promotion you feel like you deserved, and so I think that's a good reminder that's how life works.
What do you attribute that to, though? I mean, with the kids, You can't. That's something you can't teach, right, Coach? I mean, the adversity that not just you and your team, as far as your coaches, your ADs, your faculty, your administrators, your parents, but your kids, your young men, went through something pretty traumatic to me. I mean, because I'm on the outside looking in, and of course I'm a part of it, but it was ticking me off. And I can't imagine. I told Jerry when it first started going down, I said, I don't know how these boys are going to handle this. How is it going to affect them? And to watch them rise and rally around each other, and also you and everybody else, the cohesiveness was different than anything I've ever seen. Where does that come from? Does it come from obviously God, but parents, coaching, or are they just good kids?
I mean, it's probably a combination of everything, and we put them through, the gauntlet, and I think when you go through really hard training, you find that you're not going to let other people mess your approach up, and what it tore a lot of programs apart.
Yeah, sure.
And I kept telling the kids, hey, look, guys, just keep on hanging on, fight on to fight on. I would hate to be the people that caused that's going to have to answer to that.
That's right.
And so they've got paydays coming, and this ain't no revenge story for sure, but I would never do that to kids. I could never do it. I don't know how you can do that to kids. I really don't.
Well, it affects them more than it does anybody else, you or anybody else. But looking at what they did, how they handled it, how they played, performed, probably practiced harder.
They did.
I'm sure. And you guys coached harder, that's for sure.
Some of you did.
One of you watching, maybe not.
Maybe not. One of the things that from staying on last season, just for a second, and we'll get to the upcoming season, that I thought really, I hear the team together, brought them together a little bit, was when everyone was sitting around and praying and playing for you, Todd. The kids were playing for you, and we were praying for you. We prayed on the coaches show last year for you. Jeff, it was an amazing prayer. That was the Holy Spirit for sure. But talking about rallying around, they wanted to win for you. That's got to feel good.
It did. It really did. That surgery was pretty traumatic, to be honest with you. I'll just be honest with you. It's the worst pain I ever went through in my life, but I was bound determined I was going to watch Coosa.
Yeah.
And I brought my laptop in there, even though they'd done 2 surgeries in 2 days, and they had to come in my room and calm me down because I was watching the spring garden game. But anyway, it was. The sad part was I couldn't get to the championship game. I watched it on TV, and was on the phone with Rocky White, my buddy, the whole time. He was calling play after play after play. It's amazing. And the bad part is I couldn't get there. My body just wouldn't allow me to.
Sure.
It's healing, but that's another reason I wanted to come up and see the boys. I love them kids, and I was
seeing them come up and hug you yesterday, every one after another, and the smile on their face. Man, it was pretty. I wish you could have saw it, man. It was pretty special.
Love them guys, man.
No question. So let's get to a little football. A question we'll get to in a minute. I don't know who that is, but we'll ask the question.
Love it though.
Ask it.
We will. No, it's just not the right time for it. But we'll ask it. You lose 4. I say you lose. You had 4 All-State players last year, right? You had Cade Mickler, sophomore last year. Cleet O'Brien, 2-time All-State, junior last year. Eli Moats, All-State, junior last year. And the sophomore, Grayson Malone, was the sophomore. So you got all 4 state players back. Expectations are extremely high this year, but circumstances change. Your guys are in a new area, a new region, new division. You're in 2A football now. And your schedule is SEC brutal. It really is. Your non-region games, it'd be tough to find tougher teams to play in the non-region. Talk about your thought process as far as going into scheduling these games, because I know last year was just hard to get games, period, right, when you're scheduling that schedule. But you play you're playing two defending state champions, one in Georgia, Pierce County the first. You're going to play Fife, who were the 2A state champions last year, moved to 3A this year. A Pell City team that's obviously has a lot of talent, and a Tuscaloosa Academy team that went to the third round last year. That is brutal, Coach. Brutal. Talk about that if you can.
I mean, it was just to get us better. If we're fortunate enough to make the playoffs, I think facing competition like that, I think the game slows down. And there's some cons to this. You may have a lot more injuries this route, so you hope that doesn't affect you that way.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty simple. Really, it's just to try to get us better, for the playoffs.
Well, you bring back a very talented squad. I mean, you have some losses, right? You had some kids that you wish you had back this year.
Yeah.
I know the kicker from last year is a big fan of Todd.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. So I know we're going to miss him for sure. But
James is a good kid.
James,
He was at my house on Sunday night.
see, I'm saying he loves you. I
that
knew
was
he loved
all
you.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good kid.
that's pretty special. So one of the questions here, and we'll talk this region, is the question was from, who was that? Who asked the question? Cole Green. I have no idea who that is, but he asked, will Coosa finally win a region this year? That's
why we laughed.
That's why we laughed.
That's pretty funny.
Let's go through
That's
the
a
region.
great question.
Yeah, this is 2A Region 6, so it's Cleveland, who you're very familiar with and have a lot of love for.
Yeah,
No question.
absolutely. I love that place.
Cold Springs,
Yeah.
Falkville,
Yeah.
very good southeastern team, Susan-Moore, and West End. I think somebody already said West End said they're going to beat Coosa, so that should be fun when we play that game. So that's the Region 2A, and this gentleman, Mr. Cole Green, thanks for the question. Wants to know, is Coosa finally going to win a region?
I like that question, Cole Green. I really do. I don't know if it's to try to prod me or not, but I love it. I think it's hilarious. Yeah, so I get ribbed all the time by the coaches. That my lifetime record is 1-3 against Galesville. So I don't know, man.
It's
I
fair.
hope, so
Your daughter's dating a football player from Galesville.
She is.
Yeah, so I don't know, Cole Green.
Maybe you're 0-1.
Yeah.
Sorry, got a
Somebody
little
must be
emotional.
old.
So the idea, the hope is that we do win the region, because I've not won a region. So
Championships, baby.
yeah,
It starts
yeah,
there.
I'd rather have the championship than the region any day, though.
Well, let's get the region championship first, and
Yeah.
we'll progress.
And we've not done that yet at Coosa.
That'll be
Cole
special.
Green is correct. Cole Green is correct.
So here's another question. I'm going to add to this question. This was Scott Coley. You wouldn't be successful without a great H2O specialist. So who's better? Bo Black last year's H2O
I ain't doing
or
this.
Scott Coley?
I ain't
Can
doing
Scott?
That's the
Look,
question,
man,
Coach.
Scott
That is
can't
the
spell H2O.
He looked it up.
Hey, you want me to answer that?
Please.
It's at the present. Whoever's doing it
Right. Yeah.
Scott, it's you. You win by default.
I love Scott Coley.
Both those guys are
a great
good.
dude.
Yeah, both are great. But Scott and I are close, man. I love Scott and I love his son and his wife's great. They're just great
Oh,
people.
happy belated birthday to Cooper.
Yeah, Coop's birthday was
17
Monday
yesterday,
or
right? A
something.
couple
about
good
that?
ones this way. So happy birthday to your boy. So Todd, what's your expectation for this team this year? See, Todd's real. He ain't gonna
I'm a real-
BS the
I'm a-
answer.
I'm a realist, right?
Don't BS, man.
I'm a
That's what
realist.
gets me in so much trouble. Do you not
so
understand that?
I'm a realist. Look, first of all, he carries the Gordo Green Wave mentality of the schedule. Gordo always started out with Hope, Tuscaloosa County,
Yeah.
and then they didn't care if they won or lost. Don't get me wrong, you always want W's.
Sure.
But you don't go out there and play a pitiful 1A team to get a W, and then your kids' heads swell because they're
Right.
2-0 after 2 weeks. You got to go out there, and sometimes it humbles them down, right? But
Sure.
My expectations. I mean, I've looked at the film on every team.
Sure.
If they don't win the region, I'll be really disappointed. Injuries is going to be the key.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't putting no pressure on you, bro. But look, I don't care about them out of region games.
Yeah.
I mean, they're important because you gotta. That's a leveling. That's a measuring stick. Okay, where are you? Pierce County plays a lot to me like Fife.
Absolutely.
They're absolutely physical and
Yeah.
run the ball down your throat, and then will occasionally throw the ball if you keep stacking the box or bringing new safeties up. But the biggest thing is, can you play competitively with them?
Mm-hmm.
And if you can, and I think Mark said it, he kind of said it but didn't, then you can play with anybody in 2A.
No question.
If you can play with them big boys, you can play with your 2A regions. And above, outside the region.
Sure.
And I ain't
Well,
throwing darts at nobody.
No, I'm with you, but I know that for the people who don't know anything about Pierce County,
Yeah.
right, don't know the kind of program they have, won 2 state championships since 2020, preseason ranked number 1 right now in Georgia, in their region. Coached by 2 Alabama boys, to be fair, a head coach and defense coordinator, Swain Morris. It's going to be a battle. It is. That's what they expect. That's what they want. Kudos to them for scheduling the game. Same mentality, right? They want to play the best teams they can play.
I don't know if we can play with them or not. You know, they got 1,400 kids in their school. We got 119, I think that's what it is, or 129, something like that. So we'll just do the best we can. How about that?
They're going to put 80
And you
on,
will.
they're going to have
And
80
you-
on
yeah,
the sideline.
Yeah.
And then y'all going to have, really 30 that you can rotate in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's big on depth, but I think Mark hit on the head. You can't sustain injuries in a game like this.
Let me ask this question, because you did bring Fife up, and we know what Fife is. Everyone knows the style, the brand of ball that Fife plays, right? Benefield is not secret about what he does. Very much like you in a lot of regard. Here's what we're going to do. Can you stop it? We want to get that victory, right? It's going to be one of the biggest games in the state of Alabama on that Thursday night. Very excited. Win that game at what cost? I'm playing devil's advocate, right? Because that's so physical. It's going to be such a battle. And your kids, especially that defense, that's no disrespect to the offense, but that defense prides themselves on being as physical as possible. And I think there's going to be a line drawn in the sand. And the defense isn't going to back down. It's going to be a bruiser of a game.
Yeah, I mean, win at all costs. We're just going to play our best. I can tell you this: our kids are not intimidated by Fife. Okay, all right. And a lot of times teams get off the bus against Fife and they're defeated already. Our kids are not going to be scared of Fife.
Yeah.
Now they may beat us. Good for them if they do. Good for us if we do. So, I don't too much worry about that. I do it to get us ready for the playoffs. Okay. I don't care about no mistake or anything like that. That stuff don't matter to me. All right. So
Should be a great gate, though. Praise
it's
God.
It's going to be a great gate. It's going to be a great game.
Right.
They got great players. They got great kids.
Yeah, for
all
sure.
But that people make stuff out of nothing, and they try to create these Superman hero team players. No, they bleed just like we do.
Sure.
And so they're no different than any other.
But again, also kudos to Fife for taking the game.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's
It's
incredible.
Good. And I think I hope it will make both teams better. And I hope it definitely makes us better. I don't really care if it makes them better or not. But I hope it does make us better. And hopefully we can give them competition. It will help them as well. How about that? Because they got great kids.
Great answer.
Like
Absolutely. No, it's not about that.
Those
No.
kids have always been so polite and
Sure.
courteous, man. So, I don't have no beef against them, but they're
Yeah.
not my team, and I'm not worried about
Yeah,
it.
so Mr. Green here again, Cole Green wants to know, what's the plan to stop Mr. Anderson? How do you stop? I'm going to answer that for Coach. He's going to get his. I don't think that's the key to beating Fife.
Yeah.
Is stopping
It's
Mr.
not the key to
Anderson.
beating Five.
Yeah, I think the kid's incredible. I think he's a very good kid. He's an amazing high school ball player, and he's going to be a very, very great get for Clemson. Your boy John Gross is pretty excited about that
Yeah,
one.
yeah. He's really a good kid, and
Yeah.
the key, he's going to, just like Jerry said, he's going to get his 250, 300 yards rushing. That's not how you beat Fife. Is saying, okay, we're going to contain him, and we contain him, slow him down. You're not going to slow him down. He's a good athlete. All right. The key is you want to make them make more mistakes than you make.
Yeah.
And if you can achieve that, you got a shot. And that's really what it boils down to. Do they make a fumble in a crucial situation? Do we get, maybe they throw a pick and we yard them, where it's a 14-foot flip, so they're down at our 10, they throw a pick, we yard them, it's a 14-point swing. That's how you're going to beat Fife, okay? And it's how you're going to beat Pierce County. Those teams like that, they know how to win. So I don't suspect they're going to make many mistakes anyway.
Sure.
You never see holding calls, and that's like when you got that many guys in the box. That's what hurts high school football teams is those penalties, especially in the spread offense. Those penalties are going to show up more than they will when there's 22 guys all clammed in a box. You can't really see the holds, so that helps them right there, because if you just get 3 yards of play, which ain't asking a lot, you're talking about 9 feet. Then it makes it pretty easy to get that last yard, right? And so that's the key. You just got Logan's gonna get his. He's one of the best athletes in the state, so he's gonna get his. He's a good kid and he's a good player.
I know that's week 6. So I mean we're at week 0.
Yeah.
So our week, I guess that's week
0.
5.
Yeah, week 5 for Fife.
That would be week 5 for Fife, but that's 6 games away. And so you've got Pierce County, and I know your mentality is this one right here in front of us. Obviously, human being, you're going to look down the road, right?
Well, the question was asked.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a show of the people.
Well, when you're playing somebody like Anderson, I mean, obviously you got to prepare for that eventually.
Yeah.
But you got some studs on your team this year. And Jerry mentioned this, I think, a few weeks ago when we were all sitting here talking. How do you? Or actually, it was Jackson. Coach Jackson Justice was on, and a few months ago. It was a really good show. And you've got kids that won't be in that starting 11 on either side of the ball that could very well be in that starting 11. How does that, as a coach, because it's driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy trying to figure out how do we work this kid in? How does that work? What is your mentality or your thinking when it comes to putting kids in the right positions? Does that come from practice? What you show me in practice? What you show me in the schoolroom? What is that?
Yeah, I think it's all the above. And the key is you let it organically develop. Like maybe you got a kid in a slot that's really not a slot. Maybe he's an outside linebacker. All right, and the thing that reminds me is the Hester kid. Last year we wasn't even playing him at linebacker. So I think Cade Mickler got hurt, so we inserted him at linebacker, and we found out he's a pretty good ball player.
Really?
And so he played linebacker the rest of the year, right? And Cade also played linebacker as well too. But I'm just saying, like, you're not going to be clicking on all your cylinders the first game of the year. And so, I'm sure we'll move kids around after this Friday night. We'll figure out there's probably some kids that's probably not ready, and then there may be some kids that are ready, and we're just stupid because we're not doing a good evaluation of them and they're sitting on the bench. So, maybe that's it,
Well, one thing that we were fired up. I mean, of course, in the booth, we're seeing things a lot of times that you guys can't see yet on the ground. And we had a couple of guys get hurt last year, and we're scrambling. Jerry's going, who is going in? And that was one of them.
Mostly because you can't see the numbers on some of them jerseys.
That's true, though. I ain't gonna lie about that.
That's what
true.
Doris says.
I'm a little bitter, but they look good.
They do look very good. Look fresh and clean.
They do look nice.
But you got guys that can go in and play multiple positions.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the thing. We've got
high IQ kids.
Well, I mean, we're going to play, I'd say, 24, 25 kids, which is really good, okay? So, and there's a lot of depth built into that, okay? And we still not, we still got kids that may not play this Friday night, that are really, really elite talent. So
if you want to ask this question that just got posed.
Well, we were talking about that before the show.
Yeah.
Is this Cold Green again?
No,
it's not. This one's anonymous until.
See, this is all fake news.
It's not. It's
You go back and see it.
It's right here on the screen. Can y'all ask Todd how he got all of the looks and Coach O got none?
Oh, great question. I have hair at 61 years old, and he don't. So, no, I mean, nah. I always rag him. I do get him in front of people sometimes. I say, hey, who do you think's the older brother between us? People say, oh, Coach O. Nah, not really. But we've always ribbed each other.
Yeah.
About that, and but no, it's pretty good. Hey, let's switch gears. Go back to Pierce County just a second.
Always Pierce County.
Look, there's nobody looking forward to that game more than me, right?
Okay.
I can't wait to see how the interior defensive line matches up against Pierce. I think Coosa's defensive ends can seal the edges, right? And I think the skills. I'm not throwing nothing out there. I think y'all's skills better than Pierce. I think their skills probably as good as some 4A, 5As, right? I'm going to put it out there. They are. You agree with that?
100.
Okay, but
Except our quarterback.
quarterback's really good, dude. If you'd seen him in practice yesterday, that cat was throwing some.
He's different this year.
He was throwing some dimes.
He really
dude.
is different this
I've
year.
seen him all summer.
He looked good
Yeah.
yesterday,
Yeah.
and but anyway, you look at that and you say, okay, can you take the pounding? And it's not just the pounding; it's the fundamentals of keeping your pad levels down, of being trapped. When you see that tackle release out, to go kick a D in, are you looking for that guard to trap you? It's looking at their film and their guards stagger back a little bit, when they want to trap. They do some different things. The kids have to be smart. They have to be smart and play fundamentally sound. Teddy and Alaric and Mark and that whole coaching staff, I'll give it credit to the whole coaching staff. They stress fundamentals and stress it. You can lead a horse to water, you can't make them drink.
That's
They've
fair.
got to play fundamentally sound, or they're going to get their tails whipped at the line of scrimmage by Pierce County.
They got some dogs. Pierce County. It's gonna be a great game.
He's a
They
big
got some-
quarterback. Ooh, he's a big boy. Yeah. And what they running 53 times in the state championship game?
You blame him?
Was he 220?
3 overtimes.
Was he 220?
He's a big kid. Yeah,
He's a big kid.
he's probably 210 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
200.
I said, hey, look, we don't really single out a lot of kids on the show, Coach. What I want you to talk about, though, if you can, give me some kids you think really had a good summer and into a fall camp. Who's some of the kids that's impressed you that maybe that I'm not gonna say you didn't think would be that way, but who are you impressed with from the work they put in? Not necessarily from a talent standpoint, but who are some of the kids that you're like, man, he had a great summer?
John David. He improved tremendously. He's not the same kid as he was last year. I think Cannon's improved a good bit. LJ worked really, really hard.
Changed his body.
Yeah, he's worked really, really hard. Really proud of LJ. There's several.
Dylan East. Dylan East.
Dylan East has done a great job.
He's improved his body as well. He's changed. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really worked hard. I'm really proud of him. He often gets overlooked on the offensive line. Not fair to him for sure, but he never complains about it. And really proud that, and the kid he's become for sure. He's come a long way. He was a very unsure of himself kid, 2-3 years ago, and so he's done really good. So
I think he started growing, Mark, once he quit East Lawn and started doing siding. That's
Is that
really
what
when
Yeah.
So the Mills got him in shape. Is that
the
what
Bills
it is?
got him in
Oh,
shape.
okay. I see.
He was done with that grass cut.
Yeah.
He leave that to Joseph.
But that's right. But there's several.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna leave off some, and I don't
Well,
want to do that.
Just top of mind. Just think
Yeah.
some of the kids.
Those are
yeah.
definitely the ones that just pops to my mind. But I know there's more.
Joseph.
So you can go on and on
Did
with
you
a lot of these
see
guys.
the film on him and that jamboree?
Yeah.
I did see
He
something.
ran like an animal. He did, dude. He was absolutely. That's a big improvement. But keep in mind, how many years has that kid played football?
2.
2.
2 years.
When I saw him make a tackle,
Yeah.
first time in practice, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised for
He's
sure.
like a fire hydrant. I mean, he's built like a little muscle ball.
Can we not get just our coaching staff? Can we not improve our coaching staff on the back end?
Oh,
I mean, can we not do better than Albright? That's the best we could do.
I say it every day, man.
I'm looking on Craigslist. Let's put something out.
Albright needs help, don't he?
Good coach.
Albright doesn't
He is.
listen. That's all.
Is that what it is?
Yes, I've got Albright. I had him set up perfectly, and he just totally ignored me. And so Albright is his own worst enemy.
All you know is you better order him a towel.
A towel?
Yeah, he needs the same towel the kids have.
Oh,
I listened to a 30-minute conversation. Get this man a towel, Coach. Get him a towel. Todd, get him a towel.
we can work on that.
Albright needs a towel. We're not going to keep much longer, Coach. Again, not so different because of the way you prepared last year. These kids are used to being on a bus. They're used to staying in a hotel.
Yep.
And that's kind of why you do all that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly why I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jihad is the man.
Who said that?
Coley.
Oh.
Jihad is the man.
Yeah. So yeah, we do go to hotel room every Thursday night, no matter if we're home or away, and I do believe it helps. I really do. Honestly, believe it helps. And so we're not going to change that. We're going to continue to do that this year. Tomorrow morning we leave at 8 a.m. And so it's home away from home, right? And so the kids will be ready.
So talk about, I know real quick, just for the fans or parents that are thinking, I want my kids to play or be at Coosa because of Christian education, the education and athletics. Tell them why that is, why you do that. Why do you take the kids and put them in a hotel? Explain just in a 30-second blip.
Well, first of all, it's team bonding.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, it's getting them away from the norm because life ain't norm.
That's right.
Life is complicated, right? And so, I think it's always healthy to get them away from mom and dad and the computers and stuff like that. And the third thing, of course, is to win these things, you're going to have to travel. Okay, state championship and stuff, and I just think you're getting I think you're getting the edge up when you've prepared for it and it's normal routine for you.
Right.
So that's the reasons.
But I know for sure that these kids do their homework.
Yeah.
They have study
so it's all
and all
yeah.
that stuff. I remember a video I was watching last year, Eli doing a study group with these kids and one of the things. Pretty good. Take two things for me, and then I'm done, and we can end it. Opportunity. Jeff and I have been around a lot of different administrations over the years. Something pretty special with the way the admin works at Coosa, and you could be just because you guys yell at each other don't mean you don't love each other. It's like brother and sister, man. You and Miss Amanda Justice sometimes have some great conversations that is pretty special, but. Y'all are special. I mean, it's a special bond you have with your principal.
Yeah, man.
Talk about that a little bit.
Well,
Not about Jack. He sucks.
Yeah.
About that.
We're just all tight, like Jack and Amanda and me and Mindy and John David dates Katie, so.
I'm watching you, John David.
Yeah, that's right, me too. But no, it's just a unique relationship. It's a unique blend, and even with Julie, Dale,
Yeah.
So
We share a birthday.
Y'all share the birthday.
We do.
And so I was telling, I've touring a family today. They're from Tennessee, and the guy that I was touring, he's a professional boxer, right? And so he's asking me, he's like, well, what's the relationship like, you and the administration? I said, of all the schools I've ever been to, there's nothing close as far as Julie and Amanda wanting what's best for athletics. Right?
Yeah,
And they do. They really do.
Sure.
And that's really important. I just don't think you can sustain a program. Oh Lord, something's happened.
And he'll tell you in a minute. But yeah.
Yeah,
Caught me off guard.
Oh yeah, you can't sustain the program if you don't have a strong administration. You can, and I've said this before. I said it last year.
Yeah.
You can have a few good seasons with great athletes.
Sure.
But you can't build a program if you don't have a great administration supporting you. You just can't. You can't do it because sooner or later the coach's morale will be beat down so bad he's gonna be like, I ain't working for this. These kooks anymore. I'm gonna go find somebody else, and that's what they do. That's why coaches leave.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, I'm done with this place.
Yeah.
And I'll be real. Jack Justice is probably one of my top 3 people in the world.
Fantastic
Yeah.
human. Yeah.
Love Jack.
Good dude.
Love Jack. And before I get to my last question, we asked Cole Green's obviously a big fan of the program, Coach.
Who is Cole Green? So you know who this guy is.
I have no idea. We just see a name on the screen. I got no idea.
You're lying.
Okay, I'm telling
It's
you.
right here.
Bro, it's right on the screen. I have no idea.
Do we read it?
This
It
is
says,
open to everybody.
How's the bus doing? Should I read that?
Yeah, read it.
Okay. How's the bus doing? Had heard from a female lacrosse coach ran it out of brake fluid and it messed up. Is that true?
A what now?
Is the bus doing okay? It ran
Yeah,
out of
what's the
bus.
second question?
It says what?
Heard the female lacrosse coach ran it out of brake fluid and it messed up.
No.
This has got to be all right.
Oh, that's so
Is
funny.
that his alter ego, Cole Green?
Cole Green is
Yeah, it's somebody. Somebody, y'all set this up.
No,
No.
I'm telling you.
I'll play the game. Okay?
Absolutely not.
All right, I'll play the game. I know y'all set this up.
No, we
All right,
didn't.
So the bus is doing great, okay? it got blew up for sure, and I'm not going to go into detail. And
That's a great show, by the way. If we did go
We
into
could do
detail,
that.
that's a great show.
Yeah. So
After
we're not,
the season.
Yeah, we're not going to go into detail on but so the bus is fine. Okay, I don't even know who a lacrosse coach is.
I asked you that a few weeks ago, but if it was doing good.
No.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Does Coosa have lacrosse? Are we going to have lacrosse?
It could. You want to coach it?
I'm out.
Okay.
I'm out.
You know who
Baseball, I'm
this
in.
guy is? No, you don't know this guy. They know who this guy is.
No, they don't.
No, I'm
Really
telling
don't.
you, bro. We have no idea. So, hey, Whitley Self said, best administration and coaches around. So thankful to be part of Coosa.
Whitley's awesome, man.
Man, so I just started talking with her, and we realized who she is, who her husband is.
Yeah.
He played for you
Yeah.
up in Cleveland. I remember, going to
Logan.
watch him.
Logan Self.
Logan Self. So
Mr. Cantanello
Oh, yeah.
says he says I moved my son to Coosa because it was a better school and coaches. He loves it, and I love it too.
And I appreciate George.
Isn't that good?
George is good people. He still owes me some.
he said, "Coach just wants some street tacos."
There you go. He just finished my sentence.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he just finished my sentence. Yeah. So
Dude, this is a hardworking dude. This dude is.
he's a
legit.
good dude.
Love
Yeah,
this
he's
dude.
a good dude. His son's a great kid. His daughter's sweet. His wife is sweet. And it's just I still don't have street tacos, unfortunately.
Yeah, well.
It's okay.
And Jackson, we'll play golf anytime. You just name
Oh, Little
day
Mo.
and
Yeah,
time.
I think we got set up with him and Alaric, and you and I going to Little Mo.
We're done.
Last thing for me, Coach. Seriously, I know we like to have fun, but I'm gonna get serious with you just for a second. How special is it truly that Todd does what he does to be around you and be around the program?
That's awesome.
Family is everything,
Family is everything.
but to have a special relationship
Yeah.
like you do with Todd and
Yeah.
the effort that's put in for him just to get here and to get to the games and to be around you and to get to see your dad yesterday. That's special as well. We love Buddy. Just talk about that just a little bit. What he means to you.
Yeah, it means a lot. My my family's tight knit anyway. With Deanna doing the nutrition. And we've always had a tight knit family, and maybe that's the legacy from my mama that she laid down.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Which I'm
awesome.
grateful
Yeah.
for. But it's surreal in a sense, right? So you just don't get it at a lot of families, and thankfully. We are tight knit, and it's good. And I'm very grateful for my brother. I'm grateful for Doris, his wife. She's always been like a sister to me, anyway.
She's special.
So it's just the whole family. Ronnie, which is Deanna's husband. He's like a big brother to me.
Just had a heart attack.
Yeah,
and
just
he'll be on the sidelines Friday.
He's more of a mentor, big brother to me,
Yeah.
right? So
To a lot of
if
people.
Ron tells me something, I'm kind of like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Because
He outranked you.
He outranked. Yeah, he did.
He
did
outranks
outrank me.
everybody. Yeah.
And but he's more of a mentor to me in my life.
Yeah.
And so we're just grateful, man. It's grateful that God gave me this family for sure.
And Caleb and Holly,
Fantastic.
just
Yeah.
the whole group. Y'all just so tight. I don't
Very
get to be
close.
around your kids
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
But your kids as
I
well.
see them enough.
Every time you go to the kitchen, every time I'm in the kitchen, you in the kitchen eating up all the food, right? That's
No,
right.
each of my daughters live about 2 miles from us, and Doris is big influential with the grandkids and the kids, and so you're definitely going to see them around there all the time.
Yeah.
Which is pretty special.
That's awesome, man.
I'll
Thank
say
you.
this: I'm an outsider, but years ago, Mark took me in, and he's. I feel like I could call you for anything, any day or time
100%.
that we're family. And the first time I met you, Todd, was the first of the season, before the first game, and it's like I've known you for 20 years. When you greet me, it's like I've known you for 20 years, Jeff. And your sister, I'm gonna tell you, Deanna Flanagan is one of my favorite people in this world. She is a hard worker. She comes in here to our church on not days and nights she ain't even supposed to be here, and she works and helps here that nobody even sees.
Yep.
And that's the type of people you guys are. And I don't know Holly well at all. Met her once, I think, in the booth. But Caleb, same way.
Yeah.
Do anything for you. So I'm just grateful to be a part, kind of be you guys' wingman. Anytime
Yeah,
you
for
need me, just holler at me.
And that goes both ways.
Well, I know
For
that.
sure. And I love Jerry, Me and Jerry go
I
a
don't
long
even
way
understand
back.
that takes a special person within
Well,
itself.
you know, he did adopt me way back when, many years ago, and I think Caleb told me Mark's been looking for the receipt to return me ever since.
Right.
So let's hope he don't find that.
Kmart is closed, Coach.
Love
Hang
you
on.
guys, man. Thank you for what you do. I'm looking forward for a very exciting season, and we're gonna see you Friday night time.
If my back allows it, I'll be there. I got to meet with my doctor, my surgeon on Friday morning
Okay.
in Fort Walton Beach, and then leave. If everything's good, leave. I'll try to make that track.
If not, he'll be listening.
That's right.
If not,
Pray-
I will be listening.
Yeah.
You're right.
Pray for the safety
Yeah.
of all of you guys watching that believe in the power of prayer. Pray for safety and travel mercies for our team and the parents and coaches and wives and everybody else that's going down to watch and support Coosa. And if you're not going to be able to make the trip to Pierce County to South Georgia, join them right here on 103.9 FM, 9:30 a.m. on the radio. You can watch here on Facebook, YouTube, on Kapow. Jerry White and his brother-in-law, Tim Warren, will be on the call.
Amen.
And amen. And Blake Matthews is already there, walking the field for you, Coach. Make sure there's no holes
Good
or.
deal.
So you got somebody already taking care of it. So pray for them. It's going to be a great time. Can't wait to watch and just cheer for you guys. We love you guys very, very much. And what a great show, too, by the way. We were playing it for 25 minutes, and we're 45 minutes in. Super fun. Yep. As you say it, end of the show, Jerry. Tell them.
Fight on.
Ladies and gentlemen.